Hello teachers and staff. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use your new wireless microphone for Google Meet and virtual teaching. If there's any specific fixes or any specific thing that you need help with, there will be timestamps down in the description. If you scroll down, click on the blue time, it'll take you to that point in the video. But the whole video is just going to be an overall look at this microphone and how to set it up and some common issues with the actual setup process itself. So when you open up the case, pretty much everything you're going to need is down here on the bottom. First, you're going to be met with your USB sound card. You'll use this to plug your receiver into your computer or laptop. So go ahead and put that aside. You've got your actual receiver itself. This part will pretty much be at your computer at all times. There's usually a little plastic part that goes over the 3.5 millimeter jack, but you can just take it off. I already did just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to put that aside. We've got a clip for the actual microphone itself, and then we have the actual microphone on the back. There's where that clip goes. Sorry, I'm reaching around a camera, so it's kind of... There we go, yep. And then you've also got your charging cable for your microphone and receiver. That's pretty much all you need out of the case, so you can go and put that aside. But what you're looking at right now is all the parts you need to get this working. So first you're going to plug your receiver into your USB sound card into the yellow port right there. And that's pretty much it when it comes to hooking this thing up to the computer. You'll hook this end into a USB port on a computer, and then you'll just flip the power switch on. When you do that, there will be a blue light on here. The blue light flashing means it's looking for the microphone. When the microphone itself is turned on, the blue light will turn solid, and that means it's making a connection. That means it's actually talking to the receiver, and the microphone's actually working. So of course, this being wireless, both ends need to be charged. So both of them have a charging port right next to the power switch, which is where your charging cable comes in handy. So the charging cable plugs into one USB, and then it's cut off on two ends, so you can plug into both at the same time. The receiver really doesn't need to be moved around at all, so you can pretty much keep it plugged in at all times. As for the microphone, of course, you'll need to actually clip that to your waistband, then clip this to your shirt, so you'll actually be able to talk to your virtual students. But the receiver can stay plugged in at all times. Let me go ahead and show you what that'll look like. So this is what the back of your desktop should look like. Obviously, there'll be more stuff plugged in as you're actually using it. This one's just for demonstration purposes. You will plug the USB sound card into one USB. And then you'll also plug the charging cord into another USB port. It'll take up two, however, that'll allow it to not only communicate with your computer, but also charge at the exact same time. The light would be red if this computer were actually powered on, but right now it's just off because there's no power going through. But essentially, when you have that plugged in, it should be charging and working. And then of course, at the end of the day, you'll also want to plug in the other part of your microphone right there. So this is pretty much what your setup should look like after the end of the day. You should have both ends of your microphone plugged in to make sure that the receiver and the actual microphone themselves are charging and ready for tomorrow. Moving over to my laptop for demonstration, you can open up any existing Google Meet link that you've got in your classroom. Go to the three dots here in the top right of your webcam window. Click on Settings, and this will bring you to your audio and video settings. The new microphone you just plugged in is called USB audio device. And as you can see, it's actually picking up activity, but that's because the microphone is turned on and plugged in, and it's communicating with the receiver. So I could walk to any part of my office or any part of your classroom, and you should be able to talk into this, and your students will be able to hear you. Like if I were to go all the way to the back of my office and talk into this, you can still see that it's picking up quite a bit of activity, and that's because, yeah, it's wireless. Yeah, you can walk to any part of your room and still be able to communicate with your virtual students. Just make sure that both ends are turned on. Once again, that is right here next to the charging port, and the same should be on the receiver itself that's plugged in the back of your computer. If you turn one of the sides off, light turns off, it's not picking up activity anymore because it's just not communicating. Next up, if you want your students to be able to hear any videos that you're presenting and you want to be able to hear your students, that'll be this option down here is your speakers. Click on the drop-down menu. You won't have nearly as many options as I do on mine. However, you're going to click on the one that says Realtek High Definition Audio. 9 times out of 10, it'll be called Realtek High Definition Audio or just headphones and speakers. So you'll go ahead and click on that. And to make sure that your speakers are working, you can hit this little test button. It'll play a test tone. You want your setting down here in your actual speaker. Click on that. You want that to be the exact same as your speaker link on Google Meet. When you first plug in the microphone, it'll default to USB audio device. Once again, there's no speakers plugged into it, so it won't pick up any sound. So you want to change that, click on the name, and change it to the exact same Realtek High Definition Audio. And you should be good to go. So now you should be able to hear your students. They should be able to hear anything that you're presenting. And of course, they should be able to hear you as long as both ends of your microphone are turned on and they are communicating with each other. As you can see, now it is starting to communicate because I just turned it back on. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out to your building tech, or you can dial their respective extensions. If you can't get a hold of your building tech, type in extension 7777, and that'll reach you to every tech available. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out to my email or your building tech's respective email, and we'd be more than happy to help you out, or of course submit a work ticket if you have any issues with it actually communicating with your computer or any questions. That's pretty much it. Have a wonderful rest of your day.